What's happening, everybody, man? This your boy Trey, man, coming to you live from Game Day with Trey, coming to give you a quick reaction and some updates on exactly what's transpired today in your world of sports for the NBA. All right. So first and foremost, let's start off with the reaction, man. So last night we watched the Miami Heat be dismantled by the Denver Nuggets. Okay, and this transpired for multiple reasons, but really and honestly, the most glaring reason that this happened last night was rest. Okay, Miami looked exhausted out there, but it wasn't really because of the way they play or how many games they played. It was more because of the way they were being forced to play, and they were trying to force Denver to play while also still feeling the repercussions of the amount of games they played. Like, it honestly might have been a good thing that Denver did not blow out Miami last night. So, when I watched Denver play the LA Lakers, okay, in the Western Conference Finals, they continuously, game after game after game, came up against the Lakers and I guess like made the Lakers feel as if they were in the game every game, because it to me, like last night, okay, when we're watching Miami versus Denver, in the first quarter, the score was 42. I'm sorry, 20-27, down by 7. Okay, it felt like every game that LA played Denver, the whole game, we were down by 7, 5 to 7 points. Just that's what it felt like as a Laker. Okay, if that makes any sense. And then to watch it happen again last night in the same fashion, form, and manner, mainly by just wearing down on the Miami Heat. I mean, the Heat didn't really play the zone until the second half, which is kind of a good thing and a good sign for the Heat, because that 2-3 zone did show a little bit of success. Jokic was only able to generate, with him and his team included, a total of, let's see, yeah, Low Jokic was only able to generate a total of up to, on 10 possessions against a 2-3, they had a shot variance of 6 to 8 points. So that means they scored an actual 6 points, and they could have scored 8 because they missed a shot, which was a layup, a gimme. But nonetheless, they missed the shot, but still they only scored 6 points on 10 total possessions, which is pretty good, seeing as how they were averaging like 1.9 points per possession at one point last night against Miami. So you got to understand that in order for Miami to properly respond to this type of situation, okay, physically and emotionally, it's going to take great coaching. It's going to take a great game plan, and it's going to take understanding where your successes were and where your failures were. See, I work in production, so in production, you have to understand KPIs, okay, key performance indicators. All right, your KPI is something that is going to tell you whether or not you are doing good or doing bad, but it's also something that you'll be able to look to and understand that you need to adjust this one thing or adjust another thing, okay? And if Miami takes a quick, good look at the KPIs, they got to understand that 2-3 is successful against Jokic. They just got to know how to employ it or when to employ it. All right. next thing, I mean, Miami did great against the transition. They forced us into a half-court game, which was what Miami actually wants. But at the end of the day, when you force into a half-court game and you're playing against a team that is bigger and stronger and well-rested, they're going to wear on you. Okay? And if we all know, because we all have either watched the game or watched the highlights, you should know by now that Jokic in the first quarter, man, he didn't even score but 2 points. The man shot the ball one time. Okay? So, all he did is get the ball down, or Jamal Murray would bring the ball down, or KCP would bring the ball down, get it to Jokic right there in the Karl Malone zone, and then he would either get a pick and roll from somebody and kick it back to that person, catch it back, and cut back to the basket and kick it out to the corner, or he would catch it right there in the Karl Malone zone, catch that pick and roll, and then hit the roller, which would most likely be Aaron Gordon last night, and dog him. I mean, with the first off, what you're seeing out of Aaron Gordon right now has got to be just, if anyone was a Magic fan at one point, or was a fan of Aaron Gordon's and liked the way he dunked, liked the way he showed up, yada yada yada. He wasn't the player that could be a one, but was a great player. Okay, you had to appreciate his play and the way he's been playing throughout these playoffs. Okay, the pairing of him and Jokic in Denver was an amazing trade. It worked out. It worked out for them. There's no questioning on whether or not that has worked out for them. They just the system, period, man. You have to, if you are a basketball lover, you have to appreciate how Mike Malone has put together a great game plan right now, and it's going against the perfect mind. Spoelstra is nothing to shake your finger at. He is the kind of coach that is not just a motivator, but he is X's and O's. He understands how to get the best out of his players and put them in the best position. So Miami has opportunity, but I don't know how much. Like, even if you right now, okay, let's say that Jimmy Buckets scores more than 13 points. He plays a better game, doesn't shoot 5 for 13, 5 for 20, something like that. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, you got Jimmy Buckets, and he shot 5 for 12. Okay? He's got to shoot more than that. Or 5 for 13. 14, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's got to shoot more than that. He only shot 2 threes. 1 for 2 on the threes, which is okay, but at the end of the day, if you're shooting 5 for 12, that is not a recipe for success when you're playing against a team like Denver, especially if you only facilitate. You get 7 assists, you even get some rebounds, okay? But you don't efficiently execute the game plan. You've been getting the ball. Somehow you did manage to get Bam Adebayo his record 26 points in the playoffs. That's 26 points, man. We're in the finals. If 26 points is your record and we're in the finals right now and I'm depending on you to win this for me, then that's not going to happen. We're not going to win. We're not going to win if I'm depending on you to give me 26 points, which is your record. We got to get a better team effort. And you can't get 13 points from Butler, 11 points from Kyle Lowry, 0 from Kevin Love, because guess what? He didn't get no minutes. 0 from Cody Zeller, because guess what? He only got 7 minutes. 3 points from Duncan Robinson. What are we doing around here, guys? Where was the team play? Okay, Game Vincent came out and gave 19, which is a great and beautiful thing. Did not expect him to be doing what he's been doing throughout these playoffs. But then in the inverse, Caleb Martin come out and gave you exactly nothing. I mean, exactly nothing. He did nothing but 3 points in 24 minutes. That is not the type of production that Miami is going to be able to obtain or receive from Caleb Martin and be successful. You can't get 3 points from Caleb Martin in the same game that you get 13 points from Jimmy Butler. Yes, Caleb Martin is an undrafted free agent, and you shouldn't be expecting much from him. But we are in the NBA Finals. This is how we got in this situation. He was a key cog within the machine that pushed Miami to this point, into this situation. So at the end of the day, right now it's put up a shut-up time. Okay, and Miami has the opportunity of getting embarrassed right now if they do not turn around their fortunes. That 2-3 defense got to start playing it a little bit more. Butler, got to get your legs up on you a little bit more, brother. Every time you score under 19 points, either you barely win or you don't win. And when I'm watching Denver, and I've been watching them for a while, and watched a lot of tape, watched the fact that you've only beat them twice in the last 11 or 15 times, something crazy like that you played them. Like right now, you're in a very bad predicament. And if you don't turn it around and figure it out, Spo, it's going to be problems for Miami, man. Miami might not win one. Marinate on that for a second, you guys. Marinate on the fact that you have watched the Miami Heat run through teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and the New York Knicks and even the Boston Celtics, even though they took them 7. Like, this is the most improbable playoff run that I have personally seen because of the fact that you have the play-in now. So that adds to extra games. And Miami is not supposed to be here right now. But since we know that, then is that something that is a point of emphasis that we should be used against Denver? You don't hold it against LA when we beat the Nets. I mean, you just don't. Or even Philly, for that matter. Because this is more of like a Philadelphia 76er team. Yes, Philadelphia 76ers did win the Player of the Year, MVP, that year with AI. And they did win the GM of the Year. And they did win with, I think it was Jerry Crouch back then. He was the owner or the GM. They did win Sixth Man of the Year that year. They won the Defensive Player of the Year. They swept every single award that year, not like what you're looking at right now. This Miami Heat team is something completely different, but of the same ilk, because they have one star. The reason that Allen Iverson was able to beat the LA Lakers is because he came out for one game. He played his behind off for every game. But for that very first game, he got everybody else to play along with him putting up like 40 some odd points, 50 points. That's the step over game for anybody who does not remember where AI stepped over Derek Fisher. So it's looking ugly, man. It's really looking ugly. I don't know how you recover from the close score that feels like a mile in difference. All right, so next, guys, let's talk about something that's pertinent to the NBA and what's been going on around the league, let's keep it in the NBA for right now, okay? How do you guys feel about the 3 coaching hires that happened today? So you got Monty Williams in Detroit, Nick Nurse in Philly, and Frank Vogel in Phoenix. So let's start in the back. Frank Vogel in Phoenix, I do not feel like that's going to be a successful mixture to lead to a championship run. Frank Vogel got lucky that he won the championship with the Lakers. He had LeBron, AD, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. He had a team that was built to be able to be successful in or out of the bubble that year. Now, the bubble did help because you had the most mentally tough player out there within the bubble to be able to be successful in that situation, Mr. One LeBron James. But at the same time, it could have went another way in that bubble. It didn't have to go that way. Okay? So, yeah, I give him much props for actually winning a title, but, I mean, come on, brother. I don't think this is going to be successful. You had a great coaching staff around you. Jason Kidd was on that staff. A few other notable coaches were on that staff. Just don't think that that's a great selection for the Phoenix Suns. Then let's get into the 76ers, man. So Nick Nurse, I'm not sure if Nick Nurse is the right guy for Philadelphia. I like him as a coach. I think he's great on X's and O's. I think he understands how to motivate a team. But I don't think that he is going to fit the culture that is currently there in Philadelphia with the Joel Embiids of the world and the James Hardens of the world. Those that are not interested completely in dedicating themselves completely to the process. Yes, I said dedicating themselves completely to the process. Okay? Even though Joel Embiid is called the process or named the process, surnamed the process, he does not believe in the process. Okay? The injuries that he has had are no fault of his own. I'm not blaming him for those injuries. But what I am talking to him about is the playoff time where he didn't want to play in the game because he had a stomach ache because of something he chose to eat before the game the night before. Eating something that you really shouldn't have been eating anytime during the season, to be honest with you. But, he chose to. These are the little things that lead up to the lack of success. And Nick Nurse has been known to be a coach that believes in 100% dedication, 100% involvement at all times. Everybody's locked in. Okay, and if everybody's not locked in, you won't see something like what you are seeing in the finals right now, how everybody on Denver is all the way fully locked in. The coach is locked in. The team in general is locked in. And the fact that they have great players that have not even touched the court yet, it just is scary. But I digress, man. Let me get back to what I'm talking about for you guys. So, Nick Nurse, I think it'll be good. I think it's a great signing. Not sure if him and Joel Embiid will mesh, and not sure if that is going to implore James Harden to come back or if he's still going to H-Town. Now, if I'm Nick Nurse, I don't think he really wants him to come back. Earlier today, Nick Nurse made a comment in his presser where he equivocally stated that, it would be nice to have him back, but, and that pause, just like that. You know what I mean? So, read that in between the lines. Peep it how you want to. Okay. Last coach we want to talk about, Monty Williams. So I honestly feel like that was a great hire for Detroit. I think Monty Williams can be a game changer. I think he's somebody who can take that team and put them in a position to be successful with all the young talent they have. They have Jaden Ivey. They have Jalen Darden. They have Cade Cunningham. They have the number 5 pick in the draft. They have a lot. They got Marvin Bagley. They got Bogdanovich. They got a little squad over there, man. There's an opportunity for success. They could be the OKC of the East or something like that. Shout out to my homeboy Joe. Yeah, you've been shouting this out for a while. Same with you, Mike. Both of y'all Detroit fans. I understand. Probably my homeboy Detroit. I understand that y'all believe that y'all got something going on, and I think you're building something, but it's going to take some time, and you definitely made a great signing today with Monty Williams. So, salute to everybody up there in the D and everybody that is a fan of a Detroit team, because y'all made some moves. You're headed in the right direction, both NFL and NBA. All right, y'all. So, that's the show for today, man. I'm just giving you some quick episode and a quick update. Please like, subscribe, share the content, man. Whether it's this episode or another episode. I want you to understand that when you come here, you will get information, you will get knowledge, and you will get entertained. All right? Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, and I'm going to holler at you. Peace.